Hey everyone, welcome back to Room 237. Just wanted to make a quick video talking about the show I went to on Thursday. Thursday night, the other night, because it was a life-changing event. And that was also a lifelong dream of mine. And that was, I finally got to see Iron Maiden. I first found Iron Maiden when I was 13. I found a cassette tape of their first album at a flea market for $1. Bought it, fell in love with it. When I was 13, I fell head over heels in love with Iron Maiden. Loved them ever since. I'm 27 now, so 14 years. They've always been my number one band I've always wanted to see live. And this past December, my brother bought me tickets to their second A Legacy of the Beast tour down in Boston, which is a few hours away from where I am. And finally got to go on Thursday, and it was the time of my fucking life. Great show. It was outside, and normally I don't buy t-shirts because they're like $45 now. I bought two. I wanted to get a classic one, like Live After Death, which is one of the best live albums, and it's one of my favorite album covers, even though it still has Legacy of the Beast tour stuff on the back. I did buy another Legacy of the Beast tour shirt that is like a newer one. Of course, I had to get a sweatband because you got to get a sweatband when you go see Iron Maiden. This was the only one they had. They didn't have one with the actual band name on it. The opening act was the Raven Age, which the guitarist is Steve Harris's son. I'd never heard of them. They're actually pretty good. I was surprised by them. Kind of reminded me a little bit of Killswitch, maybe a little more melodic. Then Iron Maiden came on, and it opened up, of course, with Churchill's Speech, went into Aces High, then went into Where Eagles Dare, and they changed their backdrop like every couple songs. And when Where Eagles Dare came on, that was the only time I've ever been to a show where I actually heard the crowd not screaming the words, but like doing the guitar riff. So there was just a sea of, there was like 19,000 people, and everyone's just going like do da da do da da do da 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 do da da do da da. That was awesome. 2 Minutes to Midnight was next, and then Bruce came out. He did a little. Bruce Dickinson is my favorite singer. Iron Maiden is my favorite band of the '80s. They're my favorite heavy metal band. He's probably my favorite singer of all time. Bruce has a great voice. Came out and did the spiel about how you're getting old when Rolling Stone gives you a good review. That went into the Klansman, spelt with a C. He actually made that point. And, a lot of their newer songs from like Brave New World on, I wasn't too familiar with. But no, then of course they played The Trooper, and that's where the Walk On Eddie came out. I finally got to see Eddie. He was dressed up in his trooper outfit. Bruce had a sword, and they were like fighting. Then they went into Revelations. I think Revelations was when they changed the scenery again to look more hellish. Then there was For the Greater Good of God. Then there was The Wicker Man, which The Wicker Man's a great song. That turned in For the Greater Good of God. No, For the Greater Good of God was before The Wicker Man. Sign of the Cross, which was, I haven't really heard anything off of, I think that's off Dance of Death. That was a pretty awesome song. And then they played Flight of Icarus. And Flight of Icarus is one of the first songs I ever really, of like the Bruce Dickinson era, their early days with him. They haven't played that song since like '86, and I got to see them play that, and it was incredible. Then they played my favorite song, and my favorite song by them is Fear of the Dark. And ever since I was 14, when I was 14, I saw the Rock in Rio video of Fear of the Dark, which is my favorite live recording, where everyone does the chant to the guitar riff. And I'm not gonna lie, I cried. I did. I cried when they came on. because I couldn't believe it. I cry, I was doing the chant, and I'm trying to sing along to it. I am a man who walks, and I'm like crying and choking up. I'm filming it, and it was really cool because that's like a dark, eerie song. He came dressed out like Jack the Ripper with like a Phantom of the Opera mask, and he's holding a lantern up to his face. It was really awesome. Then of course that turned into Number of the Beast, and everyone lost their fucking shit. And then they ended it with Iron Maiden, like they always do. Then there was the encore of The Evil That Men Do, Hallowed Be Thy Name, which was awesome. And then of course they finally ended it with Run to the Hills, which was great. And Nico McBrain, the drummer, he came out, he was throwing like drum heads and drumsticks, and then he wished everyone happy travels. And then I also cried during Number of the Beast, because I just remember 13-year-old me, because I bought it's actually over there because I was watching it, the Early Days documentary, and I had the Edward the Great Best Of. That was the first CD I ever bought of theirs. I used to have all their CDs from Iron Maiden to Fear of the Dark, with some newer ones. But when I was younger, I got rid of like all my older band CDs to get death metal CDs, and I kick myself in the ass every day for not having my Iron Maiden CDs. I wish I had those back. And during, I believe it was Hallowed Be Thy Name, because my brother and I, we were outside. We were actually in the lawn section. So even though the band was like this big, it was still a fucking phenomenal show. We just happened to see at the corner of our eye, no joke, there was a shooting star. And that was awesome. And then, of course, once the band left, they played, over the house music, Monty Python's Look on the Bright Side of Life. Now, I'm a huge Monty Python fan. Actually, under my collections playlist, you'll see my Monty Python collection and discussion. Huge Python fan. So the fact that I got to see my lifelong dream band live, there was a shooting star during the encore, and then they played Look on the Bright Side of Life. Because I've always been a pessimist. I'm always a miserable person. I was getting kind of choked up thinking about it as we were leaving. Just like it was life-changing. I've been reevaluating my life ever since, and I've just been thinking about that constantly, just the way everything played out. It was an amazing show. Bruce promised that they were going to come back soon with new material. They're writing a new album. I can't believe how I finally got to see them. I've waited 14 years to see Iron Maiden live, and not only that, it was like a best of show. It was a legacy tour, so I got to see all these songs that got me into them in the first place, all my favorites. Anyway, I just wanted to make a quick video about that, and it was just beautiful how there was a shooting star, then they played Look on the Bright Side of Life. Like, it was like, I felt like it was dedicated to me, even though it wasn't, obviously. Yeah, I just want to make a quick video talking about that. I had a wonderful time. It was the best show I've ever been to, and I've seen Slayer twice. 2 consecutive years. If you're a metal fan, you ever get the chance to see Iron Maiden, go. Like, do it. And you've never seen them, do it. You owe it to yourself. You really need to. Great band. It was amazing seeing Bruce and Steve, Adrian, Dave, Janik, and Nico. Those guys are older, but they're still playing like they're in their 20s and 30s. Bruce was having a blast. It was an amazing show. I loved it. Best show I've ever been to. So anyway, thank you for watching.